Thank you very much, Wave Punk. And it was quite a good match for Queso earlier, and Furia pretty much a good fight against G2, but had a few struggles in the midfield, Chimako.
They did have a struggle a little bit, you can say, but I think quoting Gibbs, that was a quality loss, you know?
Yeah.
I think they learned from that, they made the adjustments, and this is the time to prove it.
Well, game one underway, Queso riding the back of pretty much a peaking rise, I would say, at the start of the day. Couldn't miss the back post, it seemed. We'll see if Furia really get the offense going. They had a couple of really nice games against G2. It was just a matter of if they break through that midfield line. Passing here to Kaio. Can he get a second one just off the clip reset, but the follow-through was right there, and that was something we were talking about earlier as well with Furia and Thorell.
Whoa, what a must here from Joyo. He almost got the follow-up there from his teammates. Rise, a second touch off the back wall, not going to happen. It's Queso definitely ramping up that offense, and they very much love to pop that ball up into the air, especially Joyo. Just count how many times he goes into an air dribble from the midfield. He buys himself so much space with quality touches picking the ball up.
Queso making sure they end up with possession here. Vatira just trying to stick Card to the backboard. See if they could try and open up some gaps. The physicality was something that G2 was capitalizing against very nicely against Furia as well. Struggling to cover the distance when they got demoed. But for all their troubles, Furia really did put up a strong defensive performance. It was not easy to break them down. Queso running into the same problems here, it would seem. A lot of time spent in the Furia corner where opportunities to actually push into the middle are few and far between.
Yeah, Furia is struggling right now. They're being cornered on the field. One thing I'm gonna say, not related, is that I love that Yo-Yo has the Pelé decal when he's going against Brazil. I mean, show me some respect right there.
It's passed into the middle, denied by Joyo. Pass around, and Card equal to the challenge. Got towards net, no problem. Good support for Furia, not getting tied up on the demos, and they fight through the midfield line. Good defense from Queso. Furia finally a small bit of room to breathe, and we'll see if they can hold on to it here in the midfield.
And this is very reminiscent to the first game against G2. Furia just trying to feel out what Team Queso is bringing to the table, as they felt a lot of pressure so far. Now an opportunity here to break out. That's not the touch that Rise wanted. Furia there to bail him out. Furia having an opportunity now to go on the offense. When they're on the challenge, as Queso struggling to hold on. Here comes Furia now, past the midfield, no one's there. As they might have a second chance here to the corner. Yanks trying to make it work, but Queso getting in the way and able to find each other out.
Nice patience there from Kaio in the midfield, knowing that if he committed, he was going to get beat on a couple of challenges there. Joyo catching Card, trying to wait for the midfield boost, and Furia doing a nice job now, really starting to win a few more of these challenges, make Queso work for possession at least, trying to dump the ball down to Rise. Card again, nice couple of reads, but a big miss, and Kaio diving back into his net. Solid enough save.
Took a while for Furia to learn the distance. You know, they were trying to figure out how close can I be to the ball, how much can I give, how much space can I give them, because they don't.
Well, back.
Got the space. Okay, he got it. Another shot. That was almost. And then Vatira finally got the ball on the net, getting the goal. And I was talking about space, but man, these guys just the follow through, After in the end they got the shot.
And that's a painful one to give up if you're Furia, because it all started with that backflip there on their own side, and it allowed Queso, as you were saying, the space to take up into the Furia side and put a tough shot on a couple times, eventually breaking down the defense. Queso up by one here with a minute and a half left to go.
Certainly not out of it yet. Furia a couple of really nice pushes, see if they can put them into scoreable positions towards the net. Nice push out to his corner. Rise trying to figure out a way through. Very proactive Furia defense here. Joyo, nice idea, keep it close. Really make Furia come and take the ball away from you. Very effective at wasting a lot of time, and potentially you beat a couple defenders, and Card, that was a quality challenge.
Great control behind the ball from Queso. Every single player has done it at this point. Furia still, we said this a lot in the G2 series, still within arm's reach of Queso here. Less than a minute to go. They've ventured down to the Queso side a few times, but it has been Queso being a bit more dangerous as this one works across the baseline of Furia.
Oh, wow. Okay, I was wondering if Kaya was going to be back in time. There was a little bit of pressure towards the blue net. 30 seconds. Furia really getting stuck in their own corner. Definitely not a good place to be when you need to find some way to break down Queso. They may have just found a way here, collecting their own quarter boost. And what do you got, Kyle? Over one, not quite over two, but Tiri, a nice job to get up there. It's Queso seeing if they can hold on. Need a strong clear. Thanks.
Not bad.
Over two.
Needs help.
Just wide of the net. Queso equal to the task, and really a game of punt it as far as you can and see if you can find a way through. Queso in general, nice job blocking him out in the corners.
And I think Furia, again, it looks very close to the G2 matchup. Taking a look at the Mobile 1 high performance replay, and you can see really only one goal here, the difference, and that was it. Vatira able to find the net. Rise doing a good job behind the ball as well. I mean, this is what we're talking about, right? When you go up against Queso, you're going to field a lot of air dribbles towards your own net. We've seen that a few times now. We've seen it today against EG as well. You have to shut that down. To be fair, I think Furia has done a pretty good job.
I think to Queso's credit, they have been very good at keeping the ball very close to them.
Yeah.
So when you do that, you are keeping control of the ball the whole time. You're not giving the possession, and they're so good mechanically in controlling the ball, dribbling it, that they are able to win those 50s and then keep pushing forward the ball. So it is a little bit different from the play styles that Furia is showing right now, where they're booming the ball and trying to get the clear that way. Queso is just keeping control the whole time and then attacking until eventually they open up the net.
And they do like that space, Queso, because like you were saying, keeping that ball so tight to you really does force you to win a couple of challenges. And all it takes is getting pushed off the ball one time, even if you don't come up with a touch on the ball, if you bump the player off it, Furia may at least find a little more breathing room on the defensive side. But as we saw in that series against G2, Furia more than capable of making some adjustments, becoming a dangerous threat. It's all just a matter of can they get enough possession. Is Joyo making them work for it here?
And how much data have they collected? It is the same thing with G2, as they're going to have to field this one from Tira in a very dangerous spot. Backboard touch is turned away by Yanks as Furia get a hold of that one. Still Queso lobbing one towards the net. And the first 30 seconds coming on, it's been all on Furia's side.
Queso is attacking good. I mean, again, they keep it the same hype they had from the previous match. And now that does a good clear, though, but it will, be a counter-attack right away from Rise because he's going to attack. And oh my God, that was so close. Guardian coming in clutch to save that one.
Yeah, really nice recognition from Card, not wanting to put his teammate in a one-on-one uncontested, and that's a nice demo across the net. Rise is going to try and put this one on target. Yanks well aware of where that one was headed, and here comes Queso circling, float over the top, and Card this time misses. I think Queso didn't expect him to come up empty, though. And Furia going to get out of a jam.
And it has been just kind of a one-man on the ball here from Furia when they break out. Vatira into the air again, and look at the control towards the backboard. And again, Furia doing a good job of fielding it.
Oh, there we go.
And the thing is, when you're doing attacks like that, when you do the air dribbles, you're forcing your opponents to also go and fly high, and you're wasting their boost. If that's the only person that is in the back and it doesn't have any boost for the counter attack, then they might be doomed. So it's very, very important that they actually make the difference. Oh my God. Again, he was trying to, he has been trying to go for those dribbles and then the bumps over and over again. But these guys in Team Queso, they're smart. They know what to expect.
Yeah, really nice layering from Queso's defense. Not panicking and double committing and letting that fake drive him through. Is Card again tasked with keeping Queso from putting the ball in a scoreable position, but Rise trying his best. A couple of awkward bounces here, and Furia looking for a gap somewhere in the midfield line, and Chimako, you're bang on the money with Queso really trying their best to stick as close as possible to that ball. It's been very difficult for Furia to wrest consistent control away from them.
And that's what you can do when you have three mechanically excellent players. They have excellent control on the ball, and they will not let it go. I mean, they know the bounces of each angle, so they're able to do so. And, I mean, so far, Furia has been doing great avoiding those attacks and not letting anything in, but how much more, because the game itself has been playing on the blue zone.
Right, you don't want to spend so much time on your own side. That was a nice drop down there from Joyo landing on top of the ball. But to your point, I mean, a lot of this game is being played on the Furia side, and it's great defense coming out for them. Let's give them credit. But at the same time, we haven't seen a lot of offense here as an opportunity, as they are able to bounce into the Queso side. And a good challenge here from Yanks might allow them to keep possession. A good flip reset as well. We're still tied up, just under 2 minutes to go.
I really like Kaio trying to get aggressive there, see if he could win a big challenge, come off the ceiling, put a little force behind it. That's a big demo and a quick follow-up. Oh my gosh, Rise is just, you know what, I'm committed. He just sticks it through.
They were both chasing after. It was Rise and Joyo. Joyo takes the man out. Rise takes the shot perfectly in tandem, and Queso able to put up the first one.
So wise. I mean, that's such a wise play. You got two people in the air. Okay, I'm going to use it. I mean, it's not a double commit if it works.
Oh, yeah.
It looks brilliant now.
It's not a double commit when one guy's going for the ball and the other going for the player.
Yep.
Furia, again, down one. Certainly within striking distance. Just a matter of can they put the ball in a scoreable position. I believe they only put 3 or 4 on target in the last game, and Queso well over 12. It's just been difficult. Again, making Queso work really hard to get the ball in at least high percentage shooting opportunities, I should say. It's kind of just putting the pressure towards the net. Like, that registers as a shot, but it's not like Queso's been really making Furia dive and jump at everything. It really feels like death by boa constrictor here, as that one again off the wall. Rise misses the flip reset card out to Yanks, but a little too far behind him. Furia again, precious seconds ticking off the clock.
And you can really feel that we're playing at Team Queso's pace. Furia, I think, kind of thrown off kilter. Here's an opportunity, but it's too wide from Yanks. That was probably their best look they've had all game. But it has just been awkward from Furia. There's a great mind game from Vatira as he's still on it somehow and takes away the corner boost. Unfortunately loses possession, and Furia, 30 seconds remain. And they just need one opportunity here to push through.
Card putting pressure as well on Rise in the corner. That one's drilled through and just missing the timing on the bump. Furia so close. Ball down to Kaio, floating for Vatira, the only one there for it. Again, sticking tight to that ball and playing keep away here from Furia, and he's going to try and just pop that onto the floor. Queso really manipulating how they were approaching that ball to force the space, and again, another well-controlled game from Queso.
And I think Furia should try to learn a little bit from Queso's playstyle, because they're playing very, very tight. Even when they are in the air, they still are very close to each other. And that's the thing, when you have players close to each other, your teammates, you don't telegraph the passes as much. You know, it's harder to actually cut those passes, steal them, because the space, I mean, the time that you have to react is shorter. And right now, Queso has been doing a great job at stealing those passes.
And you know what? To be fair to Furia, they are making it extremely tough for Queso to break through.
Yeah.
I mean, it took 2 guys going after the last man in Furia to take him out, and then the shot on target too. So it is not easy for Queso, but there is a lot of space for them. And as we alluded to earlier, Furia just giving so much space, so much time to Queso that a lot of the gameplay is on the Furia side.
And Furia currently on a 7-game win streak, 2 versus NRG, 3 versus Evil Geniuses, and now 2 versus Furia. We'll see how long they can keep that up. But this has really not been a particularly pass-heavy game for either team, really. It's kind of just been go fight for the ball, see if you unstick it from the corner, and maybe you wind up in a position where you can put one on target and see what happens.
So I think Furia is actually trying to get the pass with every clear, but again, they're too separate. They're not being able to get to the ball before, and that's unfortunate. I mean, well, unfortunate if you're a fan of Furia. A really good play from Queso, actually going for that ball. They just going after that one. Card just wasn't able to read it. And when you get aggressive, sometimes that happens. I'm not going to blame Furia on that one. You know, you really have to be aggressive, because you don't want to be remembered as a team that make it difficult to make them for them to make goals. I mean, you actually want to have some offense as well.
Right. And you really want to see that offense come out. It feels like time really running away from them here, and that's a great shot. They finally break through. Card able to get on the board for Furia, and we're tied up.
Really nice idea from Yanks here. I mean, using this timing of his approach on that dribble to force Queso to think about playing shadow defense, and then as soon as he cuts that ball in, puts the pressure on the player in the net. Really well executed transition on Furia. In traffic as well. Had a guy right next to him.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. He not only made the pass, but he was going for the demo as well. So, you know, just trying everything he could to open that up net, net.
Furia find their first goal of the series. Looking good while doing it. We'll see if they can find something else here in game 3. Kaio doing his best to take a page out of Queso's book, stick tight to the ball, ran out of boost up the wall, however, and that's a nice demo from Furia to try and give Queso a lot of space to work with. Floater over one, and you can turn it in. Joyo, well played.
And Furia has so much command behind the ball here all series long. He gets the demo, whips back around, then flicks it over the last man. He's really got a read on that play, and Queso back in the lead.
A lot of things to consider there if you're the defense of Furia.
I mean, what can you do?
I mean, once you see the short hop and you realize what he's actually doing, it's too late. So the situation back to the 1-goal deficit, but they've broken through the midfield line, and Furia again gonna catch on to Kaio's tail with a demo. Furia trying to do the same thing right back, trying to open up a few holes in that Queso defensive front. Joyo, very focused again. Quality first touch, trying to stay tight, force Furia to take the ball away from them, because in general, that challenge game has tended to favor Queso. That's kind of how those first 2 games went, while not exactly, you know, super high-powered offenses, just playing at Queso's pace, and that's an own goal, right?
That's an own goal. What happened here for Queso? I mean, this one was just lobbed into the box by Kaio, but who was it on the Queso side?
He got
bumped into
Never
it.
mind, that's not no goal.
That was a good goal.
That's a pull shot.
We're going to change it to a good goal.
That's a pull shot. We count that.
And for Furia, I mean, that's a humongous, you know, gift for them, especially with the lack of offense. It's been showing up here in game 3. As that one, it's all Queso and Furia able to put away another.
And we were talking about how dynamic is Team Queso's offense throughout the match, throughout the series, I should say. No game was the same when they were playing EG, and now they have the first 2 matches, maybe quite similar, but now this 3rd game, bump heavy. They are demoing a lot, and they're opening the net that way.
And what's unfortunate about that last goal, too, hold on, Furia's going to get one back. That's off the demo, and Yank's going to put it away.
Really nice job here to get it right back, sticking close to him, and now it's the aggressive kickoff for Queso that goes wrong, and Furia gets it right back from earlier in the game.
Well, I was going to say, in the last goal that Queso scored, it was coming off of a failed kickoff strat from Furia. This time, they just kind of went a little bit more aggressive, as you were alluding to, and now they're back here tied up. 6 goals here before 2 minutes in game 3.
Yanks figuring out the approach. Furia right on the line, but struggling to keep the ball over on the orange half. And nice job dodging a lot of pressure being put towards that goal line, and they should have this on transition. It's just a matter of where you go with it. That's a quality flip reset, just missing the dunk. It's going to float high above the net. And nice job from Rise to come out of the corner and make sure that one gets as far away as possible.
That was as good as you could get on a flip reset there. This one off the post, and Furia didn't know which way it was going to go. You could see he turned his nose for just a second, but got the read as it came off the post. But Furia, all of a sudden, Chamaco, now showing the offense, showing some poise here in this game. A little bit more lethal coming out from the Panthers.
And I think a lot is Yanks just being very close to the ball, keeping it near. I mean, when he did that flip reset, that's just keeping the ball very near opening your options. Oh, that's almost, but not even. I mean, you don't count the almost, okay? You don't count those.
Not good enough. As Yanks looking for the pass, well defended again, and they're trying to pump it as fast as they can towards that wall, hoping to see if they can get it under the crossbar. You're just overcooking the shot there. Rise, delayed flip reset. Nice save from Card. Furia into the middle, off the corner to themselves, see if they can get this one out to a teammate. That's a miss from Rise, and nice support. Joyo recognizing his teammate was going to come up empty. Rise going to have to turn around on this one. Nobody comes up with a touch. And free ball for Queso, and Card forced to give ground. Big misread from Queso. Either way, though, Furia one more time trying to figure a way out of their own corner, and now an aggressive couple of challenges coming out from Queso in the middle, but nobody really ready to follow up.
And you are seeing these little spurts of speed coming out from Furia, but they're just outpacing Queso. It's not happening right now. It's Queso all over the Furia side. A good clear comes out to Kaio, and that ball just put too far wide. He did get the full boost. Off the ceiling he goes. Not going to get the touch, and Queso going to get out.
And you see how that pass went over, and this is what I'm saying, that they don't play very close to each other when they're passing. They're used to the long pass, not the short ones, and you know that's the outcome. That's what happens when you don't practice that very often.
Kyle to the side, Queso seeing if they can find a way to end it in regulation. As nice challenge from the Yanks, really forcing Queso to fight for the ball in the corner. Card to himself, Rise uncontested here out of his own half. Where do you go with it? Right into the floor. Furia was all over that. Unlucky they couldn't put that on target. One more touch from Yanks. Viteria figuring out where to go with it. Normally I'd say that's a good double tap, but the only one there is Furia. That's a miss off the backboard. That was the floor. Card's gonna find a go-ahead goal.
What a touch from Card, and you could really feel like Furia was knocking on the door here. 14 seconds left, and a shot like that might give Furia their first game.
And again, Yanks wasn't going for the ball. He wasn't going for the double tap. He was going for the bump, for the demo on net to open the net even more. So I mean, I'm in love how Yanks is playing, and he might get another one here. He makes the pass. Kaya was going for it. He lost it. 7 seconds to go, and now Viteria going all the way with the guy on defense. Double demo. The ball is going up, Rice trying to keep it up, but it's going to touch the ground, and Furia wins a match against Team Queso.
Really nice job from Furia. I mean, you gotta love, they finally got the opportunity to push over onto that orange side and really try to box the Queso and put them in some tight spots, not able to make some tough reads off the backboard. You capitalize, you jump all over it. It hadn't been a particularly high-scoring series up to this point, and then we get a 7-shot race to the finish, really.
That shot from Viteria where he pulled around that ball, I mean, that was something special. And Queso, even with the triple threat in some of those plays, not able to score really enough. I mean, it was just a battle of attrition here in this game. And I feel like for Furia, they were able to get a little bit more of a foothold against this Queso defense. They did start to show some poise on the offense. And so I think now, when we talked about Furia needing to make the changes, we did see that a little bit. I started to mention they showed some speed, they showed some control on the offense. It really came together at the end of this game. And I think if I'm Queso, you got to look out, because I think Furia is going to ramp up.
But it is what I was telling you before. You don't want to be the team that is defending very well but not attacking. They decided, okay, let's attack more, and okay, we're going to get more goals on our end, but we will be able to hurt them in some way, and it paid off.
And sometimes I think it is for Furia just taking more chances, right? Because I think they wanted to play very safe because they know what they're going up against, and that's very smart from them. But you do have to take chances when you move down the field, and we saw that a lot more stretching challenges that stopped Queso from holding possession.
And important to switch it up. I mean, you can't be playing the same way over and over because it's not going to work. I mean, if you're losing, then you got to switch it up, and that's exactly what they did.
Yanks a little, okay. Let Yanks a step behind this challenge. I kind of saw him hesitate before he jumped for it, and indeed put it over the top of him. That's a great read from Rise, and good push from Joyo as well. I believe Joyo actually got the block and then the other way around.
And that's just the challenge game from Queso, and it's something that we said in their previous series as well. I mean, they just never lose a challenge. That was perfectly placed there. And for Queso, a very early goal here against a team that's been very tough to score against.
Tough start for Furia here in Game 4. A lot of pressure to find a win here and not allow Queso to be on match point. Tira down in the middle. Good takeaway from Yanks. But where do you go with it? He's forcing Joyo to race for the ball by just trying to be aggressive, and I don't think that's necessarily a bad idea. Furia, with time, can be an incredibly speedy team out of midfield, but struggled so far here on this Saturday to come out in front of the challenge game. But when it works, they will put goal after goal on you. It's Queso currently pressuring Furia's half, not really able to put anything into a scoreable spot. Yanks into the middle, and that's Kyle just putting pressure on the net. He knew he wasn't going to actually make the ball, but if he connected with a demo there, who knew maybe your third man can come through. Placement from Viteria is going to make it a 2-goal lead.
And I was just thinking to myself, Queso getting a lot of space moving down this sideline. Rise had all of the left side of the field open for the pass. Queso's going to rip one on target from Viteria, and they're up by 2.
I'm going to sound like an old record, you know, but did you see how Rise was passing and then Viteria was going towards Rise?
Yeah.
He was cutting on the distance. He was making it very, very hard for you to cut that pass.
It really is what Queso does so well. They use each other, and they're typically on the same page when they move down the field. And Furia, I think, just kind of caught out in transition there. Nobody challenging fast enough. Now a demo comes out from Rise. And Queso looking to build upon the lead. Another demo, this time Joyo on Yanks, and the backboard was open. Rise can't get around it. Furia scrambling to get back into position. Okay. And they do have some time to get out.
Gotta control this one here. You've worked your way past the midfield line, and Kyle, there's the speed, but where's the ball headed is the question. And it comes back to Card. Yanks is trying his best, couldn't quite reach it. Rise, delayed flip with Vatira, and Queso kind of forced to give this one up. A very awkward approach from them, and they're just trying to see if they can hang on to it.
It's a good attempt there from Card again. Trying to get something going for Furia here. Down 2 goals, a good musty 2 here for Joyo, and it's turned away. How many times have we seen him go for a shot like that as Rise tries to dunk it as well? Another demo comes out. Jamako, you mentioned the physical play from Queso certainly ramping up, and it's paying off as Furia is struggling to hold on to it.
You know, another thing, in that previous sequence, Queso had like 3 or 4 plays where they were up by themselves. No one was challenging that, and that means that Furia is giving them so much space. Yeah. And it's the same thing we saw with EG. That's a good attempt at the shot. And another one from Yanks, and there he goes. Kyle finally gets one with a great pass from Yanks, just putting up the pressure, avoiding that clear from Yo-Yo, and getting on the ball on net.
It's really the shot out of the corner that forces that tough spot for Queso. I mean, Rise didn't have any other option but to just throw the car at it. Couldn't get a good clear on it, and Furia jumped all over it. Love that pressure, and it just takes, like you said, really that one good look, and they'll generally convert it.
And to give credit over to Furia, that was a scrappy goal. I mean, Queso had already made the save, already made a couple touches on that ball, and Furia were able to still get back into rotation and keep it dangerous on the Queso side, and those are the type of goals that we've really seen Queso give up.
So once again, we find ourselves in a very familiar situation. Furia down 1, about a minute and a half left. Oh my goodness, a cheeky chip from Vatira, not able to put it in between the posts. Definitely would have thrown the defense for a loop, that's for sure. Shot on target, Kyle cutting it off early. It's Queso again, unwilling to relinquish control at the midfield line. Getting boost steals as well. It's very difficult for Furia to approach the ball with a degree of control behind it, as they have to run so fast to cover so much pitch to try and grab boost and make it back.
They're doing a good job, though, of poking it away from Queso, and they're trying to hold that midfield line again. Here's Yanks with an opportunity, but lost it. And Joyo was just hovering, waiting for him to come after it. Rise trying to get a couple dunks downfield. They will get it. Furia, 45 seconds to make the difference here in Game 4.
Taken away by Kyle. Again, boost steals, demos. Queso trying their best to limit Furia's counterattack options. So Yanks into the middle, that's a good block. He just needs a little help. That's not a good clear from Joyo, but what a recovery off the backboard to make sure he could get back up to it for a second try at it. Hard taking away the pass to Joyo. Yanks looking for a spot on the net. He's actually going to pull the defender out of line. 2-2.
And Yanks has been the guy that is still going at it every single time. You know, if the ball is nearly the net at any point, any given point, he will make sure that someone from the team is there to attack and make the pass, make the attack, and make the shot. I mean, whatever it is, but it's thanks to him that we have a tight match right now.
It's the hustle coming out from Yanks. Like I said, some scrappy goals coming out here from Furia. 7 seconds left on the clock. Queso threatening here. Furia might have some space to work with. That's a great pass down all the way across the field. This one's going to get to the backboard as Queso is able to turn it away for now. Yanks demolished for his effort. It'll drop down, and we got a Game 4 overtime.
Way to work back into it, Furia. No easy roads here at the Major. They're putting on a good show. Queso trying their best to crack a Furia defense, which has been incredibly stingy. Not giving away anything for free, and that is so close for Joyo, not able to turn it forward.
I'm so glad that you said that Furia's defense is good. I mean, how long have we been saying that Sam's defense is not worthy, you know, of international Rocket League, and now you're saying that? I mean, that's a major.
The defense, you got to give him credit, has been stellar from Furia. It's really the lacking offense, and I mean, to be fair, I think Queso does that to a lot of teams.
Yep.
As this one from Yanks will get to the sky, an air dribble over. Kaio, that one's going to be blocked away. And coming up on the first minute of overtime, Furia trying to push this one across. Queso doesn't deal with it well. A little dicey on the Queso side, but they get out.
Now, I don't understand where all the space went for Furia. I mean, like you said, there was a lot of confusion over on that Queso side, and to have nobody in position to really try and rush forward and put even more pressure on them is confusing at the least, as Joyo tries to get the bump, but no one there for Queso. A little late on the pickup, and Furia have managed to recover just in time. Vatira wants to try and float one towards the net. Kaio well aware of it. He saw enough of that early on in the day.
Keeping their heads above water here in overtime. Furia having to field some tough shots. Queso really unrelenting, and a second touch. Back post, it'll bounce off, and a good challenge will clear the goal for Furia.
And the breakaway as well. Rise the only one there for it. Furia thinking that maybe they were going to beat everybody back. They're through Rise. Vatira not really in the best position, but what a great recovery. Nice clean catch. Gives his team a chance to win possession. Huge pinch towards the Furia side, but a free ball, and I don't understand why you're trying to pitch that, but Yanks was on his way, but Furia will return fire.
Yeah, miscommunication in the overtime. Yeah, that's one thing you don't want to see. I mean, you gotta win this match. It's obvious, but you don't want to be in a match point right now.
Yep.
Whoa. Ooh, Kaio caught too far forward. Yanks, you have to make a nice touch here. We'll actually leave it for Kaio, who recovered nicely. Part of the catch, looking for Yanks, a little too far forward, and Vatira will cut it down. There was Rise in the backfield, seeing if he could catch Furia being caught too far forward. Poke towards the net, Card again. He's had to make a lot of saves on the goal line on the rotation back. They let this one go forward, and a huge touch from Yanks.
I'm not too worried about Card. I mean, he has been an amazing defender, I mean, ever since I remember. So if he's up back there, there's a good chance that the ball won't go in the net.
And they're going to need him. Queso, they are inching closer and closer. I mean, they can't really get much closer to the goal line on a couple of these shots. But here's an opportunity for Yanks. He wants to put over the back shoulder, and Joyo. Great control, even with no boost, to turn that one away. Here's an opportunity. Can Card dish it out? The shot inbound. It will get through! Furia tie up the series!
A way to fight through it. It was no easy path. And a really nice job to finally, instead of just trying to drill a challenge, let him hit it into you. Drives it gently through the defense, and Furia, like you said, they're going to tie it up 2-2. Now the pressure's on for both teams here going into Game 5.
You got to feel for Rise, man. I mean, he was right there, just a few pixels off the way, and couldn't get the save. But man, that was so close.
Take a look at the Mobile One high performance replay, and there's a lot to be excited about here because Queso, they were able to put away a couple goals early, but Furia, again, I'm just going to say it for the third time, scrappy play on the Queso end, and you can see the excitement there, the celebration in that game win, and as you said, Chimako, it means a lot for them because you don't want to be on match point against Queso.
Yeah.
Been really running downhill, it feels like, ever since they got into the lower bracket. Over that win, the first win over NRG, really, I think, set the tone for them. And maybe underestimating Furia here, but they're sitting in a tie series, and we're pretty deep into this one.
I don't think they're underestimating anyone. I think Team Queso comes here to play, and they are giving everything. Just Furia they did the homework. You know, that's what I can say.
Yeah, I think there's enough understanding about what pretty much every South American team is capable of on offense, and they're really dialed in like, okay, don't let whatever they can do happen if you can, because like you said, it's been scrappy approaches for Furia. It hasn't been this, yo, we're going to really try and out-mechanic it and improvise something beautiful. They haven't really let that develop here, at least on today's show.
And, we've talked a lot about Furia here, but for Queso, that's a game where you look back and say, man, we just had so many opportunities that we couldn't convert. And that is credit to the Furia defense, but if I'm on the Queso side, I'm saying, you know what, we had way too many chances to not walk away with a win there.
Kyle, nice job working through a few defenders, chipped across the net. Queso under some early pressure, and this one looking to be on target. Kyle trying to keep the pressure going. Card is up early. He will go towards the low right. Kyle follow through. Back post. It's going to roll right in.
Meu Deus, I mean, that was a really good play. Again, scrappy. They keep going after every single thing. And I wish I had seen this before with the G2 series because I was telling them follow through, keep going. And now they're quality lost. They learned their lesson and they're doing it here.
Definitely, and I think G2 is a great
match for them to learn, because Queso, very similar here. The way this game has gone, and Queso trying to force it through. Vatira did his best, but Furia able to turn it away.
The recognition from Yanks on how early he committed to that and instantly recognized they're doing something completely different and put the large part of the car right behind it. Some bumps from Queso there, making the rotation back from Furia a little awkward to approach the ball from. Some really aggressive challenges trying to come out from Queso, get a big dunk over somebody and force Queso to back off. Clear little breathing room for themselves. Card looking for the net, denied. 2 defenders in the goal for Queso.
And you're noticing, especially in this game, through just over a minute, lots of space just above the box on the Queso side for Furia to work with, as it's getting scary and scarier. 3 go. The follow-up's there. It's too high. Looking for another. The demo comes down. It's a tough ball for Yanks to get over.
Ooh.
That's still Furia threatening right side. Card drops it down. They're up by 2.
I'm telling you, you said it was too high, it was for the crossbar, but it was good because they knew that they were going to defend any shot right there. So they keep it high, they keep going at it, they open up the net, and then once it was open, they decided to go through. So now they have a 2-goal lead, 3:26 to go. It's a long time, especially against Team Queso, but this Furia is looking really good.
This is certainly the best game of the series so far for Furia. They're the ones in the driver's seat, forcing Queso to react to the pushes. So not able to generate that same type of boa constrictor pressure in the corners or at the midfield line. And Joyo trying to find a way back to equalize, really trying to stretch for that one. And a little bit of keep away here from Queso.
I think Furia, especially in this game, really proving to themselves that, yeah, we have that offense. We have that killer instinct. Queso are giving them the space to do so, and I think now Furia really capitalizing on the chances.
Joyo needing a little help from his teammate Vatira as they will back off and just give the ball away to Furia. Trying to get real aggressive on the challenges, but definitely a step or 2 behind here at Queso. Furia had a few of these games in their series against G2 where all of a sudden the offense just came to life. The opposition kind of left reeling as big miscommunication from Vatira and Joyo. They figure it out, and we'll see if Furia can wrest control from them here on these next couple of challenges.
That's a tough ball here. Rye's not able to get after, but that's a little concerning for Queso to have that type of miscommunication. Yanks.
Wow!
Oh, Yanks! 3-0 for Furia!
This guy's just, you know, he's making highlights after highlights after highlights. If you had any doubt if Yanks was one of the top 20 players in the world, I mean, you gotta be asking yourself now if he should be on that list. It is on mine, though.
That was money. That was money.
Yeah, he's got to talk to those guys who make lists after this performance.
Joni, did you hear that? I mean,
huge shot from Yanks and a lot of pressure on Queso, and Ole is right.
And this is scary for Queso. Furia winning over the crowd here, a North American crowd, and they have come alive for Furia, and for good reason. They have looked good. As you said, Chief, the best game for Furia so far. Game 5 really panning out for them.
Nice shot to the back post, well defended. Card and Yanks in position. And if Furia win a couple of games where it was tough, you come out here, blow Queso out of the water, put them on match point, who knows what happens in games 6 and 7. Furia very well may knock out Europe's last hope.
And this is a very weird match, I should add, because even though Team Queso is playing on the blue zone, that's how I feel. They haven't attacked that much. You know, it's very easy attacks, very easy for Furia to get the clear and the counter. So, wow, that's another attempt from Yanks. And now, I mean, whatever Yanks attempts, you kind of
believe anything
and try to finish, let it finish.
You got to stop talking when you get the top like that.
Nice shot, defended well from Card. Kaio sizing up the defense here. Only 45 seconds for Queso. Time of the essence, and certainly not on their side. Vatira to himself. Queso really just seeing if they can get anything to feel decent about here in Game 5, because really start to finish, it has been Furia's ball game. And they're even going to take a little extra time. Grab some boost, dish it into the middle. Just a little out of reach, though.
You can see Furia certainly gaining a lot of steam in this series. The crowd once again behind them. Final 10 seconds, and Queso
having nothing to show for their offense here. It's been all Furia. Game 5, looking to go to their side. Queso can't do much about it. Europe about to be put on match point as Furia will drop that one down.
Really got to scratch your heads as well.
My words, exactly. That's what I was thinking.
I mean, if you're Queso, lights out game versus Evil Geniuses.
Yeah.
And you come in here and you put it again in a very, very succinctly, Chimako. It's been a controlling game for Queso, but not really an attacking game per se. And they will indeed take a timeout here as we watch the Mobile 1 high performance replay. Furia. That was what you wanted to see, catching him in the one-on-ones on the transition, trying to outplay, and they delivered beautifully here.
And I appreciate that timeout from Queso. I have to say, on the first few matches that they were really close, or Team Queso was dominating everything. But on this one, you have a 3-0, and how do you feel about it? Because it's a game where you should be dominating, you should be the one attacking and getting the goals, and it didn't happen.
That's the play style. That's the expectation. That's what we saw against EG. And to be fair, that's what we got in the beginning of this series. But we talked about Furia really learning their opponents, and I think they have done it here against Queso.
Now, we did see a few Queso fans, just a few in the crowd. I gotta wonder, you know, there's a lot of OLED.
Yeah, I love this. I gotta say, I love this. I mean, these guys, they're playing. It may be their first crowd, but for me, it's the first crowd commentating as well. Yeah. So I'm really, I'm hyped with these fans.
So I don't know. We did the same thing earlier with G2 Furia, seeing if Furia would come back. So I don't know. What do you guys think here? Do you guys think Queso comes back? We go 7.
No. That's a resounding no.
That is a resounding no. Wow. There was a lot of Queso people here earlier, I felt like. You said it, Chimako. They're winning over the crowd.
Where are the cheese boys? they need you more now than ever.
It's the power of Furia. I mean, it's Dia de Furia, and they're getting infected. You know?
I don't blame them. They're a fun team to root for. You heard in the interview from STL earlier in this tournament, they've doubted Sam. I think they've earned a lot of respect from the Fall Major, coming into this major as well. People have looked at South America and say, you know what, there's something here to these guys. Furia certainly showing it here, and to take down the #1 seed in Europe, that would be a statement victory.
And Queso so close to starting off with a bang in Game 6. Must win at this point. Out of lives, and Furia going to see if they can keep the pressure on from a wonderful Game 5 performance. And I'm curious to see if Queso, now that they know backs against the wall, they really try and get aggressive and mechanical, as indeed it's going to take all 3 to get it done, but they will break down Furia.
A couple of poor touches from Queso, especially there from Rise, skying that one over the net, but Joyo, again, the triple threat coming out from Queso, able to close it out.
And I don't mind Rise, just going a little bit high on that one. He's there for the ball. He's keeping the ball right into the net. So if he's not going to be able to make the goal, one of his teammates will, and that's a mentality that you have to have at this level.
Here's the unfortunate change of pace, I feel, for Queso. I mean, just that first goal really tells you, we're not out here to see if you make a mistake. I think they really are going to try and absolutely put on a show here to get some crazy goals and little misdirection, and Queso's going to snipe the left post.
They are doing this on purpose, the whole time. I think you see how Yo-Yo, he was on track. He was on track to hit the ball, but then he purposely went off track to let his teammate go for it. Because let's face it, you are paying attention as a defender. You're paying attention to the guy in the front, not the guy in the back. So whenever someone else is going to attack, it throws you off really bad.
And you can see that timeout certainly figuring out their communication. Last game we said it was a little concerning to see them not be able to communicate around the ball as clean as they normally did. Now up 2-0 here in the first minute. That timeout certainly paying off.
Fast start for Queso. We'll see if Furia has an answer here in Game 6. Queso again. I am kind of wondering, because those first 2 goals, very fast, very aggressive, trying to get as quickly downfield as possible with a lot of misdirection and creativity. And now I'm wondering, if you hold a 2-goal lead, do you just try and go back to controlling the game? That is an interesting thought.
I don't think that's in Queso's DNA. I think they just go, go, go.
Yeah, when you had a Furia that made 3 goals on the previous match, I don't think you want to risk it with only 2 lead. So they will have to go and just keep control of the ball. But yeah, then again, still try to make more goals.
Especially since you know Furia is not just going to quit on you, even no matter how big the lead is. As that one comes off the crossbar, an easy tap in for Joyo, and it's a 3-goal lead for Queso.
Tough sequence here to be sure. I mean, Kaio really trying to cover a lot of the net there, and that's just a nice touch to the back post over the back shoulder to beat all the defenders. Not a lot Queso could do about that when they covered it up pretty nicely, but that was a lot to handle.
Credit to Queso. I mean, they are being on top of Furia the whole time. I mean, if you can control the ball at midfield, well, let's push it a little bit more, you know, and control the ball right on the net as well.
Yanks a little floater forward, and Furia just seeing if they could find their legs under him here in game 6. Kind of got the leg sweep, and here's a pass to Kaio, top of the net, and Joyo equal to it. Huge save, but Yanks trying to put it one more time into the mix. Nobody there to follow through for Furia. Let's try and get them back in this one. All off grabbing boost, but a couple of really nice challenges coming through, and Kaio so close to beating out Vatira. As Furia really starting to get stuck in here on the orange side.
A couple of great touches from Furia to the back wall. Queso doing a good job, though, of standing in front of him. You know, plenty of time left on the clock here for Furia. They're knocking on the door. Certainly need one sooner rather than later if they want to close out this series. Otherwise, it does feel like Queso's quite comfortable sitting on this 3-goal lead.
Ooh, Card so close to chipping it over Vatira. That's actually a big challenge for Queso. And Kaio gonna dish one right back. They may go over the demo here, dumped into the middle, and Vatira gets right through the rotation, and great understanding of where to press, and Joyo's gonna convert back the other way.
Furia got a little bit reckless on that one. They sent someone to get the bump. They had another one to get the pass and keep, you know, you don't have any more players. That's it. I mean, the only one that can defend that is a crossbar and nowhere near.
And, you know, I don't blame Furia for pushing that hard. You know, you need something. You're down by 3. Momentum has swung completely in Queso's favor. And to be fair, the setup for that type of play with the bump and sending 2 after the ball is not a bad play from Furia. Just not executed, and Queso, of course, able to counter.
Back pass to Joyo, and that's a nice bump. Will give Furia at least a little bit of an opening here. Some miscommunication, though, with 2 players committing, and Yanks actually got that one all the way in between the posts. What a shot.
What a shot coming out from him, and Queso sent 2, and Vatira actually got a decent touch to avoid Card.
I didn't believe it.
But didn't see Yanks coming, and he swatted that one through just all the players inside the box, and Furia gets one back.
Are we still calling this too late, a little bit too late, or not? I mean,
you know, a minute and a half, 3 goals, doable. You know, 30 seconds a goal, you feel okay. Dwindling every moment, though, but we'll see if Furia can at least string one more together. As right now, Queso unwilling to relinquish control here in the midfield.
And it's kind of the frustrating thing for Queso, especially when they have a lead like this, because they go for air dribbles so much. It takes 2, 3, 4, 5 seconds off the clock every single time they go into the air. Even if you get the challenge, you already lost 4 seconds. They're a very frustrating team as far as game management goes.
Thanks. Poking and prodding anywhere at that defense to see if he can find a way through. It's Joyo who comes down with it. Flip reset. That's perfectly executed. How about you just put that one and dot the I?
That's excellent. And one thing I was going to say before that is that they're not actually going for 50-50s. They're waiting for Furia to hit the ball slightly so they can win the contest afterwards and then get the pass. And that's how I think it was Joyo, right? They got the ball and beautifully executed flip reset.
Now I will say if that went in too little too late, but 30 seconds left. Furia really kind of came out here in game 6, got popped right in the mouth. 2 goals in short order. And well played to Queso, but Furia, now they got to scratch their heads. Do you think they take the timeout?
I'm curious.
I mean, why not, right?
Yeah, I mean, why not?
Queso took the timeout and really got the momentum back in their favor, as the crowd, of course, will count this one down, but we all know Queso is going to come out on top here in game 6. We will be going to a game 7. And for Queso and Furia, well, for Queso, 12-2 in game 5. 7's this split. 5-0
in Game 7s. They've won the last 7 Game 5 and 7s they played.
Okay, that's fine, but Furia hasn't lost two times in a row, okay?
True,
they
that's
haven't.
true.
They haven't, so, I mean, not in this tournament right now, right? So I'm still going with Furia. Again, quality losses, they learn from it, they make adjustments. We have seen this over and over again, and I feel that, you know, they're gonna figure it out. That's it. I mean, I got the shirt right
show
here.
them the shirt. Show them the shirt.
Yeah. You gotta go all the way.
I'm still here.
There it is.
Let's go. Let's go.
You can't doubt going into Game 7. And they've got a lot to live for. They've had a fantastic tournament so far, knocking off some of the toughest teams in all the regions. Furia, a lot of love here from the crowd as we shall see what they concoct here in Game 7. Oh,
wow.
What do you got under there? Oh, okay, you got to take the jacket off. Now he's ready to go.
Well, it's a sweaty match, you know?
It is a sweaty match. I don't blame him. And for this Game 7, I mean, for Furia, I don't know. I don't think I've got any word that they've taken a timeout. So for them, you know, they just want to jump back into it, and I don't blame them for that. I don't think that's a bad. I think either way, it's fine. Just depends on who you are as a person.
They had a 5-minute timeout right now.
Yeah.
Right now, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
I do think that in going into this Game 7, I think the biggest problem they ran into in that Game 6 wasn't necessarily that Queso was like super outplaying them. It was just that it happened so early. Because like that 2-goal lead with, you know, 4 minutes 20 on the clock is just like, how do you try and be as aggressive as possible to get yourself back into the game? And you have to take some of those risks as Game 7, presented by Lamborghini. I believe this is the first one of the day.
Big moment here for Europe and South America. 1 game to decide the fate of a region.
All the stops will be pulled, no expense spared.
Marco, how are you hanging in there? You all right?
I accept any outcome as long as Furia is winning. Okay, that's it.
Well, we shall see as Queso,
Wow.
just stick one on the goal line as that will be poked free. Transition denied. Kyle going to demo Rise, trying to get this back into the middle, and really nice push from Joyo. Try and put Furia back on defense, and a nice read from Yanks on that clear.
The good news is for Furia, they haven't let Queso just immediately run away with it as they did in the previous game. Able to stabilize here, of course, playing some defense, but that's nothing new. Great chain dash there on the wall to catch back up as Yanks wanted to push through. Here comes Kaio. Chance here for Furia brewing outside of the box. That's a great pass back. The shot's going to go a bit high, turned away by Rise. Still Furia knocking on the door. The angle's found as the defense really stretched into the corners there from Queso as they get out.
Really great placement from Furia, and that's a big demo from Rise as well. Gonna buy a lot of extra time for Queso. Furia, love to see that quality placement force the defense to make a big stop, but they fall off the backboard in an open net for Rise pretty much.
Couldn't get the save. I think he couldn't fire from the... Yeah, Kaio couldn't read it. He couldn't read it, and Rise just was there. I mean, sometimes you have to be there. I mean, you cannot think that defense will be perfect every single time. Just being there sometimes works, and Rise took advantage of it. And Kaio, after all, is a great one, but he's still human.
Only a few times we've seen the mortal part of Kaio. And that time, as you said, a tough read for him, but still a 1-goal lead here for Queso as they're trying to close out this series, maybe 2. As the second touch doesn't come through. That's a weak shot throw towards the net. Queso threatening, but Furia able to break out.
And Yanks really trying to tie up a couple of defenders. He's done a great job of it, actually. As Vatira will return the favor and force Yanks to give a little ground. He will make sure to collect his corner boost on the way. Kaio, nice job not to get bumped off that ball. Could have allowed a lot of extra pressure for Queso to start getting built up. Joyo gonna fight for possession. 2 players for Queso go, actually. Card, you need to control this one. Can't lose it to this challenge. And even if he lost the ball, he at least pushed them backwards. Ball floating dangerously around the Furia corners. As almost, I think if Yanks hit that, that might have went straight into the net.
He had a good read on it, but even better cleared. You can see it's very easy for Queso to break out from their own side. I mean, Furia not really locking them down at the moment. It's very similar to many of the games here in this 7-game series where it's all Queso.
And yet Furia able to weather most of the storm so far. This one played across the box. And Furia looking for control, but just can't hold on to it this time. They'll let this one go to the wall. Card instantly challenged as it comes streaking across the midfield.
And Furia have won a couple of games in this series like this already. That's a really nice demo to give themselves the chance to retain possession. Card into the middle for Kyle, towards the net, over the shoulder arise. Big stop. Whoa. Yanks, can you get a hold of this one? A little too hot to handle. And that's a weak touch. Ripped back the other way and punished.
He fell in the trap of passing the ball to your teammate, but the teammate was way too far. You know, he saw Kyle right there. He saw it clearly, but the pass was too weak, and Team Queso, they have been really good at predicting the passes and stealing the passes. Again, I have seen that before, but this time it was no exception. And Furia now threading 2-0 with only 100 seconds left. Clock is ticking.
Possible, but can they get there? That was yes, they were all right there. Nobody thought that Queso was just going to do nothing. And Queso gets away with one on their own net as they're trying desperately to just poke this ball somewhere out into the middle where maybe they can put it on target, and Queso have got their feet back under them.
Oh my, Yanks trying to read every challenge, and nothing really came until he already committed on the flip. Vatira trying to stretch out for that one as well. Furia just over a minute to make the comeback here in Game 7 as Queso still threatening on their side.
Floater for Vatira, pumped top right. Oh, that is 3 for Queso. Devastation the other way.
And this one becoming very painful here for Furia. Another one where it just feels like they were given too much space. Queso able to take advantage.
That timeout for Queso, man. I mean, it's
it changed this game.
Been a different team since. Unwilling to relinquish anything to Furia. Try as they might. A few opportunities here in Game 7, but few is the key word there, I believe. It's been tough for them to get out of their own half, and when they have, caught off guard by perhaps some lax defense from Queso here or there. But one way or the other, Queso capitalizing on a couple of mistakes, and that's a nice little shimmy shake from Vatira on the wall. Throw off the scent as that one's still not going to find its way into the net. Furia on their last dregs here with 20 left.
A lot of half chances coming for Furia. Queso have met them every step of the way. Kaio needs 2. It wasn't on target. Just something for Furia to go right. And in Game 7, nothing has. The clock ticking down and Furia trying to break through. Another block. Still Queso denying. It's going to be a shutout in Game 7. Europe stays alive and Queso moves on.
Great match from Queso. I don't have anything bad to say because it was an amazing display from them. Again, Furia was a match point and they took the time out. They followed instructions. They didn't give Furia any chance to get balls on the net. And we knew how scrappy Furia was playing, how they were going through for the follow-ups every single time they shot on net. So they decided, okay, we're not going to give them that chance. We're going to build a solid defense on the net. And it paid off, you know, in the end. And those 3 goals of advantage, Furia wasn't able to take it away.
And generally, an excellent performance for Furia across the entirety of this event. I mean, huge wins over top teams in every region you could imagine. And they looked really, really good doing it. Unfortunately, here today on Saturday, out in 2 games, but